Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NDTV. You're watching Battle for States. It's a season of lists from the Congress to the BJP to the BRS. Political parties are taking no chance when it comes to the selection of candidates. And while the emphasis is only on winning, the BJP in some ways is making it clear that its strategy to field heavyweight MPs is not just to optimize its chances of winning, but also to send out a message that for the party, no election is local and every local issue could have national implications. Till now, the BJP has fielded 21 MPs in the list of candidates that have been announced for 4 states. These include 7 in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan each, 4 in Chhattisgarh and 3 in Telangana. The idea, as we understand, is to cash in on the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his model of governance in all elections, including assembly polls, and while doing that, also attempt to override factors such as anti-incumbency against MLAs, divisions within state units, and probably present a bouquet of state leaders to give hope to people that their concerns will be heard. Now, the BJP in the past too has used the strategy of asking parliamentarians to contest assembly polls. Remember, the party sent 12 MPs to the UP Assembly in 2017, and in 2022 polls, Union Minister SP Baghel, who was also the first chief of the BJP's OBC Morcha, had contested against Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav. 4 MPs contested the West Bengal polls in 2021, contrary to the BJP's strategy in states like Gujarat or Karnataka, where it did away with many old faces in one stroke. This brings us to the questions we ask tonight. Is the BJP's strategy of fielding MPs in assembly polls a show of national might? Is it a sign that the field is wide open for the chief minister? Will such a strategy work? Has it worked in the past? Is it a compulsion for the BJP, at least in states like Telangana, where the party is trying to strengthen its organization and make it poll ready in a short time? And is it also an attempt by the party to override local anti-incumbency and factions within state unit? And most importantly, how will the party convince its own local party workers and aspirants that their space and ambitions will not be compromised? We have a panel of experts to discuss this with us tonight. Senior journalist Pula Rao and Sanjay Singh, political commentator and senior journalist Aarti Jairath, and political strategist Amitabh Tiwari with us. Mr. Tiwari, let me come to you first. You are a man of data. How do you see this nationalization of local elections? 21 MPs being fielded by the BJP in 4 states. What is the larger message that the party is driving at, and what does data say? Do MPs have a larger potential or probability of winning?
See, essentially, I think the first or the foremost objective is that the BJP wants to test the popularity of these MPs in these Vidhan Sabha elections. See, in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP denied tickets to 35% of sitting MPs. So it anyways has to conduct a survey to determine whether to give seats to the incumbent MPs or not. So this is a way to test their popularity, who should be given a ticket again and who should be denied a ticket. That is number one. Nationalization of elections, yes, because in all these elections, if you see, of course, BJP is in power in Madhya Pradesh, where normally if the BJP is in power, it goes ahead with the CM phase. But here also, it is going ahead with the phase of the Prime Minister and seeking votes in his name. So there is a nationalization of election element, not only in a state where BJP is in power, but also in states like Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Telangana, where BJP is in opposition. If you recall, wherever BJP has been in opposition from 2014 to 23, except 2 states, Assam and Delhi, it has never declared a CM candidate. And so it has tried to nationalize the election, fight the election on national issues and exploit the anti-incumbency against the local MLAs. And this strategy has worked for BJP in the past. And that's why probably it is also not announcing a credible leader like Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan as its CM face, in line with its strategy which has worked for it in the past. Now, whether these MPs will work or not, see, in Telangana, it has given tickets to MPs because if you see, most surveys are saying that it is not faring that well. So at least by fielding these MPs, it is confident or it is sure shot that some of these will win and its numbers will boost up. Right. Whereas in Rajasthan and MP, it has fielded MPs from seats where it had lost in 2018. It had lost in 2018. And since it's a close battle, it does not want to leave anything to chance. And it is giving these MPs a chance to win these elections. This strategy has worked in the past. I mean, in UP also, most of the guys who contested won. And we'll have to see how it plays out this time.
Right. Mr. Rath, let me come to you. According to Mr. Tiwari, this could also be one way of testing the popularity of MPs right before 2024. Now, look at Madhya Pradesh. We are seeing a straight fight between the BJP and the Congress, and you have top guns like Narendra Singh Tomar and a galaxy of leaders that the party has fielded. There are 12 leaders in every poster of the BJP. How does this strategy compare to the strategy by the Congress, where you have tried and tested faces, you have the predictable faces of Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh? How does this strategy contrast with the Congress's strategy of going with expected faces? Ms.
You're asking me?
Ms. Jayarath?
Oh, yes, sorry.
I'll come to you,
asking me. Yeah, sure. Well, so you see, my take on this whole thing of putting in big heavyweights from Delhi, from the Lok Sabha into state assembly polls, I think the BJP is trying to create a new leadership. And we saw this happening in Karnataka also. I think the BJP is trying to create a new leadership in all these states. And I think, it feels that the existing leadership or the existing, sort of party there's so much infighting, and, they've not been getting on with each other. They've been sort of addressing press conferences, saying all kinds of things. So I think the BJP wants to change all this. And I think one way of doing this is to actually, marginalize some of the guys who they feel are now no longer relevant to the party, to the BJP as it's, taken shape in the last 9 years under the leadership of Narendra Modi. I think they feel that these people are no longer relevant. And so they are sending, heavyweights from the Lok Sabha into the assembly elections, with a message which they're sending across to all the states and particularly in these states that, this is a new BJP that Modi is fashioning in his image, and all those who still think it's the old BJP, there's no room for you anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, now whether this strategy will work, I don't know. We'll have to see. Right. Because what does happen is that obviously this message is not going to be taken very well by old-timers, people who've been there a long time. But I think the BJP is taking this gamble because they feel that these old-timers are really no longer relevant to the current politics in these states. And they would like to change that, those people. So this is one way of just, marginalizing them.
Right.
Now, let's see whether it works.
Absolutely. That's an important point. Sanjay Singh, sir, I wanted to ask you. Now, it's clear that collective leadership is something that the BJP has been talking about, both in the context of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and even Chhattisgarh. So, is this also one way of telling people that when you deploy national leaders, it's like the PM also sending out this message that, I'm sending out these people who have worked very closely with him. So it's also a promise of commitment by the PM. And I think there's also an ideological basis to it that every person has a role to play and the party is the supreme. But when we look at the flip side, there are also reports of protests happening by parties' own cadre saying that their ambitions and their aspirations have been ignored. Is that a concern for the BJP?
See, in these three states, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, since BJP and Congress are pitted head to head, and therefore the aspirants for party ticket feel that they're going to come to power. This is happening in BJP as well as in Congress. So that part is taken when ticket distribution happens. We see it happening everywhere. So that concern, I think, respective party leaders of both the party will take care of that to the extent possible. The other aspect is to say that MPs who have been made to contest state elections, that is to try and test their popularity. I think that would be slightly inappropriate because this is a do or die battle. You have to win this battle at any cost through electoral means. So therefore, you won't risk testing their popularity. You, in fact, put all your energy and all your kind of strength behind that particular candidate who you have fielded from parliament to state polls, and also those who have in any in any case, fighting assembly elections out there. Some people say that putting national leaders, those who have come to parliament, have slightly elevated their stature, they have become kind of got into that elite circle. I think the party sends out a clear-cut message, including some of the heavyweights, that party is supreme, and therefore, as and when whatever party thinks that the role you should play, you should play. You have to play. In terms of collective leadership, I think there is also a positive side to it. When you go to polls, Madhya Pradesh, of course, there is chief minister, and there are too many question mark being raised about Shivraj Singh Chauhan's future prospects. But at this moment, I think there is neither yes nor no for Shivraj Singh Chauhan, as well as for other leaders concerned, or senior leaders who have been asked to contest assembly elections out there. This leaves a scenario in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, also to an extent in Chhattisgarh, whereby each particular leader have been sent to areas where they have a respective kind of influence on, particularly in Madhya Pradesh. And they and their supporters will work unitedly to best of their capacity, to best of their strength, and to best of their resources, not just to win for themselves, but also for their supporters. In the end, if all that is combined, then the party eventually wins. If that is the case,
right?
In Rajasthan, also, I think the question about Vasundhara Raje, I think that part has also been contained to an extent. You have seen some other senior leaders like Bharat Singh Shekhawat's son-in-law. Right. He has also been given ticket from Chittorgarh. And some others have also been given kind of a ticket. This is a strategy BJP continues to play, comes out with new strategies in every election. As you said in your opening statement that 11, 12 MPs were made to fight UP assembly elections. If you win, of course, you win. Otherwise, you possibly will see some of these faces contesting parliamentary election again in another 6 months' time. Right. So this is a scenario whereby election is also a side game, whereby you try and unnerve your opponent, and by putting out a fresh strategy, and that is the strategy we are discussing here. Right. Also, that is being discussed in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan, and also in respective other areas in the hinterland.
Right. So that's an important point by Mr. Sanjay Singh. He's saying that, this is also an attempt by the party to put forward a united face. Now, Mr. Rao, let's talk a little bit about Telangana because, yesterday we saw, after several delays, BJP's first list of 52 candidates for the Telangana Assembly polls has also come out. Now, the party has fielded 3 out of the 4 MPs that it has in the state. Now, what is the BJP strategy in Telangana going to be like? Because the state is important for the BJP southward push, particularly after the party's defeat in Karnataka, but the party also has a lot of other states to look at because the stakes are, of course, higher there. So what is the BJP's strategy in Telangana going to be like?
See, it's the same as everywhere. When you field 21 Lok Sabha MPs, a big buzz has been created. We are discussing the story, which has created a buzz locally, 21 MPs. The same thing applies to Telangana. These are 3, they have 4 MPs. There are 3 MPs have been put up, 2 backward caste people and 1 tribal in Telangana particularly. And in Telangana, maybe the objective is not to gain power because that looks very difficult, but to raise the percentage of vote. 2018, BJP got 6 or 7% of the votes and 1 MLA. They have to better that. Of course, in 2019 parliament elections, they got 20% of the vote. So their first objective is increase the percentage of vote, show that they are relevant, and that would be a success. If I may just go back, one small point. There is no loss for the BJP in fielding MPs. Let us say all 21 are elected as MLAs. They can resign as MLAs, continue as MPs, or resign as MPs. There won't be by-elections because the next elections are hardly 4 months away.
Right.
Nothing changes. Except, they have taken to bring fresh faces to come and contest. In Rajasthan, Diya Kumari is contesting. Rajivardhan Rathore is contesting. They're not weak candidates. They want to give a push to these 4 states. There is a very critical election for BJP. Right. They should win at least 2 states, or at least a state, which have not won any of these 4 last time, but situation is different. Same logic applies to Telangana, except Telangana never had a BJP government. The other 3 states have BJP governments. If I may just add one point, in the midst of change, continuity is there. Shivraj Chauhan is contesting, Vijay Radhe is contesting in Rajasthan, Raman Singh is contesting in Chhattisgarh. So this is an interesting mix. BJP tries to do something unpredictable. This is unpredictable, but without any risk. There's absolutely no risk. These three MPs, if they win as MLAs, they will decide in April whether they should continue as MLAs or they continue as MPs.
Right.
So it's a fail-safe situation. I don't see any risk. It is gain, however much it may be.
Right. Mr. Tiwari, would you like to respond to that? Because Mr. Rao was saying that this is basically no risks for the BJP. And there was an important point that Ms. Jairath also made about the party, projecting a new rung of leadership and also in a way marginalizing the leaders who may not be of too much utility to the party. And one thing that Mr. Sanjay Singh talked about as to, how it cannot actually be a test of it could be actually inappropriate to call it a test of MP. So what is your response to that, sir?
See, any strategy is a masterstroke till it works. That is number one. Number two, if it is not a test of the popularity and if the intention is to win all these state elections, because all of these are close elections as the surveys are predicting, then they would have fielded all their 28 MPs and 24 MPs in MP and Rajasthan respectively, because they fielded almost all the MPs in Telangana. Now, when we club all these states together, that is not a correct thing to do, I think, in terms of analysis. The party is in power in MP and the party is in opposition in Telangana, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. These two are very distinct things. Whenever the party is in power, or rather was in power and changed the CM, like Gujarat, Tripura and Uttarakhand, they actually retained power and won these states. Whenever there was a neither here nor there strategy, like in Madhya Pradesh, because Jairam Thakur will be replaced, not replaced, Bommai will be replaced, not replaced, in both the elections, the party lost the elections because there was no clarity on the leadership aspect. You can contest on a combined leadership in states where you are in opposition, which is Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, fair enough. But where you are in power, you cannot contest on a combined leadership because that sends a message that the party itself does not have confidence in the chief minister. Any incumbent party cannot win theoretically a seat-by-seat election. If it gets local, away from the face and issues, then it becomes very difficult for an incumbent to retain. And of course, the party is trying new faces in Rajasthan, MP and Chhattisgarh. There is a sea voter survey which shows that though there is a lot of discussion on the popularity of Vasundhara Raje, with 36% saying that she should be the CM face of BJP, there are 33%, an equally strong number of BJP supporters who want to see fresh faces in Rajasthan. So there is some logic behind why not they are going ahead with Vasundhara. And of course, they want to have a new sort of leadership across these states.
Right. Mr. Jairath, would you like to respond to that? Like, are there actually limitations to this projection of collective leadership, especially in states where you're not in power? Where you're in power, actually, that's what he was trying to say, that in states where the BJP is in power, it may actually show lack of confidence. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think so, very much. I think the message has gone out very clearly in Madhya Pradesh that the BJP does not have confidence in Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and he will most likely not be made the chief minister if the BJP wins again. I mean, Chauhan himself has been going around saying it, in his various rallies and interactions with people and so on. So I think that message has gone out quite clearly. I think the message has also gone out quite clearly in Rajasthan that the BJP does not have confidence in Vasundhara Raje, and they will most probably not make a chief minister if the BJP wins. So I think that message has also gone out. Now, the point is that they are relying very heavily on Modi and his charisma and, nationalizing the poll through that. I think the BJP, while I do agree that these are important polls for the BJP to win, I think what is far more important for the BJP is to win the next Lok Sabha poll. And I think this whole strategy of pushing Modi in such a big way and nationalizing the election is a kind of preparation of the ground for the 2024 elections, because Modi then is the dominant face in all these states. And whether the BJP wins or loses the state assembly elections, I mean, yes, maybe even if the Congress wins, I think as far as Modi is concerned, he'll handle that situation. I don't think he is too worried about that, because there are ways and ways of dealing with state governments, as we have seen, in the last few years. I think what is really important to him is to win the 2024 elections. And everything is a preparation for that. And that is why the need to change the leadership in these 4 states, because there is an embedded leadership which has become now quite tired. And I think, people want fresh faces. They want a new leadership. They want a new kind of party. They want a new look BJP. And I think, I mean, that is what the BJP is trying to create under Narendra Modi.
Right. Thank you, all the guests. We've run out of time. So that was a panel on BJP's strategy for fielding MPs to fight assembly polls in 4 states. Many factors here. Some may call it a gamble, some may call it a show of strength. But the BJP has been using this in every state that is all set to go to polls now. So clearly, there's a lot of thought that the party has put into it. Of course, the opposition is also trying to counter that with its own plan of using tried and tested faces. That's all we have for you in the battle for states. Thank you for watching NDTV. More news and updates on the other side.